Operative Graves reporting in. Researcher, good to see you as always. We received great news from our hand, or our Hidden Assets and Negotiations Division, that our weapons deal with the Protosarchic cults is going off without a hitch. Consignment 09 Epsilon 13 is aboard one of our Ion-class cargo aircraft, codenamed Tesseract. It contains 3 anomalies, all unregistered. We, did lose one handler to exposure, but, he knew the risks. The buyers are in Novosibirsk, Russia. In exchange, we're to receive some spores of, well, a highly anomalous and virulent disease. I think you know which one. Delta Command calls it a trade. I call it evening the fucking odds. But take a seat. We're about to begin. Let me log us into the archive. Today, we're going to be looking at 2 anomalies that are closely linked. We'll start with SCP-073. Object Class, Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-073 is to be kept in a 2-room cell furnished with all non-organic furniture and items, and a bathroom. Subject is allowed to freely wander the facility and eat in the main canteen. A tracking device has been attached to the SCP-073's person and is not to be removed. Subject is disallowed any contact with the surface and is not allowed outside the facility. Subject is allowed no contact with plant-based SCPs under any circumstances. Violence is not to be used against SCP-073 under any circumstances. SCP-073 is currently kept in Site-17. Description: SCP-073 appears to be a heavily tanned male of Arabic or Middle Eastern descent in his early 30s. 185 centimeters or 6 foot 1 inches tall, and 75 kilograms or 165 pounds, with black hair and blue eyes. Arms, legs, spinal cord, and shoulder blades of the subject appear to have been replaced with artificial versions of unknown make and metal. Subject only takes notice of this when it is pointed out, and states that it has no knowledge of how, why, or when these replacements took place, stating it had them as long as it could remember. There is a symbol engraved into the forehead of the subject, which appears to be of Sumerian origin. Symbol has yet been untranslated, and subject appears distressed when the symbol is mentioned at all, refusing to speak on it. Subject does need to eat or drink on a regular basis, but is strictly carnivorous, owing to its effect on plant-based items. SCP-073, who refers to itself as Cain, is generally polite and genial to all who speak to it, though it has been described as being cold and somewhat mechanical in its speech. It is very helpful and enjoys aiding personnel in their daily actions, whatever they may be. It has highly detailed knowledge of ancient to recent events in history, and most common spoken languages in the world, including ones that have since died out. Subject has professed to have a photographic memory, remembering word for word all text in an 800-page dictionary that was flicked through in a minute and a half. It has scored above average in all intelligence tests given to it. SCP-073's presence is inimical to any and all life grown in soil, causing death to any such life within a 20-meter radius. Any land SCP-073 is walked on, and any within the 20-meter radius, becomes barren, and all anaerobic bacteria dies, rendering the soil incapable of supporting life, until new bacteria are introduced. Anything that is derived from soil-grown life, such as wood and paper, immediately rots and disintegrates upon touch of SCP-073. Further effective derivatives include anything hydroponically grown. Violence directed towards SCP-073 reflects any damage inflicted on SCP-073 directly back onto the attacker, although SCP-073 visibly remains unharmed. This applies to any damage directed at SCP-073. Attempts to get tissue and blood samples have proven futile. When the procedure was initiated, personnel carrying out the action felt a sensation of whatever was applied to SCP-073, and would wound up with a sample of their own blood or tissue, despite the fact that all actions were directly solely at SCP-073. Indirect damage through a medium also results in a person perpetrating the action receiving the wounds caused. Although SCP-073 receives no actual harm from damage to its person, it has stated that it feels the pain of the action and has politely asked researchers to abstain from overly harmful actions to each person. Additional notes. SCP-073 was found in the New York Police Department in having been taken in after subject has been found amidst the bodies of several violent gang members. SCP-073 told police members that the gang had attempted to make sport of it, but became angry and attempted to kill SCP-073, resulting in their own demise. SCP-073 was incarcerated and was deemed a John Doe when NYPD could not find any information on it. SCP-073 came to the attention of the Foundation through a routine inspection of John Does and was subsequently released into our custody. Addendum 073-1. Examination of the unidentified metal on SCP-073 has suggested that it is beryllium bronze, a metal that has been documented as being utilized by various anomalous cultures and entities. Most notably, beryllium bronze is a component found in SCP-1216, SCP-1427, SCP-2481, and SCP-2711. In light of this discovery, the Foundation began working in an attempt to trace the origin of beryllium bronze and how it initially spread throughout the world. When prompted, SCP-073 was able to provide information that suggests that beryllium bronze originated in the Middle East, though the exact point of origin has yet to be determined. Further research into the origin of beryllium bronze is currently ongoing. Addendum 073-2. In light of SCP-073's indestructible nature and photographic memory, and general will to please, High Command have deemed that all information is to be backed up on SCP-073, ensuring it is not lost in the event of a catastrophe. While this action is met with mixed responses, SCP-073 has agreed and sworn itself to secrecy on its part. Addendum 073-3. When information concerning SCP-076 was brought to the attention of SCP-073 for backing up, subject showed familiarity with the information, although was disinclined to adding to it, despite the fact that it stated it already knew all about SCP-076. It then stated it would be better for all parties involved that it not meet SCP-076. Let's look at the next anomaly. The article's file contains a letter as well. I'll read that first. From Dr. to Director Maria Jones, Record Keeping and Information Security Administration. Subject: Revision of SCP-076 SCP file. I have to go on record as saying that I seriously object to the proposed revisions of the SCP-076 Special Containment Procedures file. I know that redact all important stuff already claims it's a security risk, but you and I both know it's just top brass trying to sweep their biggest and most embarrassing mistake ever under the damn rug. Omega-7 happened. It existed. Those people died because you screwed up, and you can't change that, no matter how hard you try to hide it. For God's sakes, man, those people guarding him deserve to know exactly what he is, and what he did, what we did, how we fucked up, so they'll know better. Item number: SCP-076. Object Class: Keter. Special Containment Procedures. Containment Area 25B is to be located 200 meters below sea level, tunneled out of solid bedrock in a seismologically stable area. Sole access to the containment facility is to be through a vertical elevator shaft separated every 50 meters with a reinforced glass door, constructed of 20 centimeter thick material shielding. Elevator shaft shall be flooded with seawater when not in use. Containment Area 25B is to be constructed with the following components: an outer security perimeter against outside threats, staffed by security personnel trained in close quarters battle and counter-intrusion tactics. An administrative and support area, ASA, consisting of support facilities and living quarters for on-site personnel. A primary containment zone, PZC, consisting of a 7-meter cube encased in a 1.5 meter of reinforced metal. PZZ is designed to be flooded and drained as needed, and should remain filled with seawater unless access to contents is required. A 150-meter killing corridor, which is to be the sole access to the PZZ from the ASA, including water, power, drainage, and ventilation lines. The walls and floor of the corridor are to be reinforced with a similar manner to the PZZ, with the addition of an electric deterrent system capable of delivering a 20,000-volt shock. A security station located at the entrance to the killing corridor is to be staffed with no fewer than 3 armed security personnel on watch at any one point in time. Armament is to include, but not to be limited to, at least one CIW system on a pinel mount with a clear line of sight down the corridor, with a plexiglass screen to protect the operator from throwing weapons. In the event of a full breach, all on-site staff are to proceed immediately to the closest security station for weapons and armor distribution. Staff will remain at Alert Condition 1 until SCP-076-2 is confirmed neutralized. Should 90 minutes pass after the declaration of full breach without a stand-down order being given by Level 4 or higher personnel, final contingency measures will be activated, flooding the entire facility in seawater, and sealing off the access shaft for a minimum of 24 hours before retrieval is attempted. This will, by necessity, result in the deaths of all on-site staff. Description: SCP-076 consists of two components, a stone cube, SCP-076-1, and a humanoid entity contained within, SCP-076-2. SCP-076-1 is a 3-meter cube made of black speckled metamorphic stone. All surfaces outside and within SCP-076-1 are covered in deeply engraved patterns corresponding to no known civilizations. Radioisotope analysis indicates that the object is approximately 10,000 years old. A door is located on one side, sealed with a lock 0.5 meters in width, surrounded by 20 smaller locks in a circular pattern. As of yet, none of the keys have been found, making the door impossible to lock once closed. Interior temperature is approximately 93 Kelvin and cannot be altered by any means, internal or external. Directly in the center of the room is a 2.13 meter tall stone coffin, held in place and sealed shut by several chains of unknown make and substance, which are attached to the inner corners of SCP-076-1. SCP-076-2 resembles a lean, Semitic human male in his late 20s. Hair in black and eyes are gray, skin tone olive. Subject is 1.96 meters in height and 81.65 kilograms in weight. Numerous tattoos depicting arcane and occult iconography are present all over the body, mostly in the form of leering demonic faces, and ranges from subtly to openly ostentatious. Subject, when encased inside SCP-076-1, is technically dead. However, occasionally SCP-076-2 will awaken, effectively reanimating, complete with all vital processes needed to sustain a living human being. Subject will then attempt to leave SCP-076-1. If successful, subject will enter a trance state and seek out the nearest human being, ignoring all other living things in the process. Upon coming into contact with a living human, SCP-076-2 will enter a rage state, in which it attempts to engage and kill all human beings encountered. To date, only the subject's death has been shown to be effective in ending these rampages. Terminating SCP-076-2 is often problematic due to its significant physical abilities. Subject has superhuman strength and speed, and although not invulnerable, has shown a remarkable ability to ignore pain and shock, pressing on despite what would be debilitating wounds in normal humans. Prior encounters have shown that SCP-076-2 has the ability to, among other things, rip through a reinforced steel security door over the course of 4 minutes of a sustained assault, clear over 60 meters of distance in under 3 seconds, take multiple 50 caliber BMG rounds to the head and survive for several minutes to continue killing despite severe damage to the cerebellum, swat handgun and assault rifle caliber bullets out of the air with a length of steel rebar, survive for over 1 hour deprived of oxygen before finally asphyxiating. SCP-076-2, most unusual ability, however, is its ability to apparently materialize bladed weapons out of nowhere. Slow motion video footage reveals that the blades in question are actually pulled from a miniature dimensional rift described as a small hole in space. Where this portal leads is unknown, as is how SCP-076 is capable of generating said rifts. Footage of the blades in question shows them to be made of a completely non-reflective black material, appearing as a black void in space. As the blades rapidly vanish after leaving the subject's possession, no structural analysis is possible at this time. SCP-076-2 has effectively been killed several times in various manners. Sustained fire from multiple heavy caliber machine guns. Asphyxiation. Crushed beneath a 13.6 metric ton piece of elevator equipment for use on SCP-076-1. Cremation through the use of a thermite TH3 grenade placed directly inside SCP-076-2's open chest wound cavity. During the worst breach to date, Containment Area 25, which previously housed SCP-076, was forced to detonate its on-site warhead as a last attempt to contain SCP-076-2 while it was attempting to escape, resulting in total destruction of the site and all on-site personnel. SCP-076-1 survived. Upon death, SCP-076-2's remains will putrefy rapidly until reduced to dust. SCP-076-1 and the coffin will then slam shut with great force, and the lock will rotate, sealing it shut. SCP-076-2 will then reform from within the coffin, a process taking from anywhere from 6 hours to 25 years. What posthumous analysis of SCP-076-2 exists shows that it has an internal system highly different from our own, documented in Additional. SCP-076 was found in Mongolia in 18 by archaeologists from England. All members of the expedition were subsequently killed on the return voyage home. SCP-076 was recovered from the ship by the Society, one of the organizations that later merged into the modern Global Occult Coalition, and placed on display in their inner sanctum. SCP-076 remained in storage for years, until SCP-076-2 became active and escaped on. The reason for SCP-076 activation is currently unknown, but it was at this point that the keys from the outer shell were lost. A massive manhunt lasting over 3 years took place until SCP-076-2 was incapacitated by killing it and causing it to reform inside SCP-076-1, by then retrieved and secured by agents of the SCP-Foundation. Subject was in custody for 3 more years under constant supervision and was terminated whenever it became active, although it occasionally was able to escape for short periods of time, often due to security breaches caused by attacks from other organizations. The Foundation's death toll to this was. After the incident, the current procedures regarding SCP-076 were implemented, although they were upgraded regularly with the increase in technological standards. There is an additional file called Mobile Task Force Omega-7 Incident Log for the 076 file. Let's go through it as well. It begins with an email from Director Maria Jones, Record Keeping and Information Security Administration, to Level 4 Administrators. Subject: RAISA Update to Security Protocol RE Supplemental Information RE SCP-076. File name: Addendum 076-1 Project Abel and Mobile Task Force Omega-7. Prior classification: 05. New classification: Level 3. Need to know basis. Effective date. Pathological profile of subject SCP-076-2. SCP-076-2 either possesses a mind constructed much differently than our own or is completely insane with little empathy or ideas in a way we would understand it. Concepts such as sex, love, and equality are completely foreign ideas to SCP-076-2, or at least in comparison to its way of viewing them. The subject has shown that it is completely disinterested in sex, barely differentiating between genders except as a form of visual identification. Also, while subject has admittedly greatly enjoyed the act of killing, causing pain, either emotionally or physically, holds no attraction to it. In short, a perfect sociopath. Intelligence tests have been wildly inconclusive when applied to SCP-076-2, and no accurate result has yet been obtained. This may be due to alien thought processes of the subject. SCP-076-2 has however shown that it has great knowledge of human anatomy, although in a highly violent context, military tactics of open warfare, metallurgy, and, strangely enough, the care of livestock. Subject has knowledge of several languages, including English, but most notable is its knowledge of several dialects of ancient Sumerian, which seem to be its preferred language. SCP-076 is nothing but contempt for human beings, with one exception. It seems to hold a wary respect for those it acknowledges as its superior. This was discovered when an agent who had previously had a large amount of experience with SCP-076-2 did not appear once it escaped. Subject seems distressed, asking several personnel where Agent was hiding. When it finally did learn the fate of Agent, killed as collateral damage in an airstrike intended to halt the advance of SCP. SCP-076-2 stopped its rampage and allowed itself to be escorted and restrained. Subject was then interviewed on the sudden drastic changes in its behavior. Begin log. Doctor, why are you so interested in the death of Agent SCP-076-2? Subject begins swearing in Ancient Sumerian. Doctor, why does his death bother you? You've killed many humans before. Why is he so SCP-076-2 different? Because unlike you, he was a challenge, a real enemy. Doctor, why would that be good for you? Every time you've awoken, you've tried to escape. He was responsible for apprehending you several times. Surely you must be glad he's dead. SCP-076-2. I would hardly expect you to understand. Do you know? He managed to shoot me in the head over times? A man like that deserves to die in combat. So close to his opponent he can feel his breath. Not in some destruction ordered by cowardly kings and princes in their palaces. The rest of you, you disgust me. I don't even have the urge to strike you down. Subject is silent from then on, refusing to speak or respond. End log. This indicates a possible psychological inlet into SCP-076-2's mind and a possible control mechanism. Given the massive drain on resources SCP-076-2 causes due to its escape attempts, and considering Bao Commission's stated desire to weaponize SCP objects for tactical purposes, I recommend that we pursue this course of action as soon as possible. Dr. In a response email from Dr. to Dr. Project Omega-7. Subject. He said yes. Project proposal. Mobile Task Force Omega-7. Pandora's Box. Mission statement. Support of SCP-076-2 Abel in the field in high-risk tactical situations. Task Force Organization. Task Force Special Asset Abel. Task Force Leader. 10 to 20 field agents divided into 5 teams of 3 to 5 each. Members of the team are to be personally selected from elite field agents by Subject Abel himself in order to maintain a smooth relationship between the artifact and the mundane elements of the task force. Security Protocol. SCP-076-2 Abel is to wear a device attached to the neck that, if triggered or tampered with, will immediately detonate, terminating SCP-076-2 by way of complete destruction of the spinal cord, trachea, and all major blood vessels in the neck. A tracking device has also been attached to SCP-076-2's person. It is to refrain from killing unless ordered to do so, and is to avoid causing damage to the organization's facilities. Armament and Equipment. Team members are to be armed and equipped in accordance with MTF doctrine. As Subject Abel has shown no inclination to use firearms, or in fact, no understanding of their use or tactical implications, he is instead to be armed with one or more edged melee weapons of his choice. Addendum. For God's sake, find these guys something to do. Abel's getting bored, and he's starting putting his team through live fire exercises. They get bullets, he gets training weapons. Have you ever seen someone break a man's jaw using a Nerf sword? He's not going to stop until he gets someone killed. Doctor. Report by Dr. Project Omega-7. In light of SCP-076-2's proficient use of the Sumerian language, researchers have asked it to translate several documents. While it originally replied with disinterest, it has translated some of the documents it found worthy of its attention. Most of the documents chosen by SCP-076-2 were regarding battles of legendary heroes, one of its favorites in particular being the Epic of Gilgamesh. However, one researcher presented it with the symbol from SCP-073. Upon sight of this, SCP-076-2 became highly enraged, killing several of the researchers before its kill switch could be activated. When reviewed and questioned about this, SCP-076-2 responded aggressively, and that line of questioning was immediately dropped. It is recommended anything pertaining SCP-073 never be brought to the attention of SCP-076-2, and that the two are to never be in the same facility. Addendum 076-07. Recently, SCP-105 has been accepted into Mobile Task Force Omega-7, having beaten SCP-076-2 in a contest to see which of the two could activate several devices, each spaced over a mile away from each other and the starting point. SCP-105 managed to score significantly higher than SCP-076-2 by using her inherent abilities to her advantage. SCP-076-2 succeeded defeat and allowed her entry into the group. Addendum 076-09. Proposed introduction of SCP-076-2 to SCP-682 put on indefinite hold. Those with security clearance level 4 or higher may request access to Contingency 076-2 number 3. Addendum 076-23. Per the request of the Bow Commission, Mobile Task Force Omega-7 is to be fielded in the region of against. The following is an email chain. From Doctor to Doctor, Project Omega-7. Subject: don't do it. For God's sake, don't do it. It's bad enough that they're trying to weaponize Iris too. Don't let the military bully us into doing their dirty work against some sand farmers in... From General Bow to Dr. Project Omega-7. Subject: a job well done. Excellent work, Doctor. The mission went exactly as expected. We'll be calling you again if we need your help. General Bow. From Doctor to Doctor Project Omega-7. Subject: I hope you're fucking proud of yourself, motherfucker. Embedded in the email is an image, because you're a bigger asshole than this guy. From Dr. Project Omega-7 to Omega-7 Team. Subject: reassignment. As of this moment, Dr. has been reassigned to SCP-682 as Level 1 personnel. From Dr. Project Omega-7 to General Bow. Subject: problems. Despite our best efforts, Subject Abel is proving difficult to control. All our attempts to keep him engaged have been more or less unsuccessful. The problem is, he's a perfect killing machine, and that's all he wants to do. Which seems like exactly what we wanted, but the problem is, we can't turn him off. I'm running out of missions to give him, and the ones I've got left aren't engaging him mentally. He's starting to lash out at the other team members. It's only a matter of time before something goes wrong. Requesting permission to discontinue the project and neutralize Abel temporarily, until we can find something more for him to do. From General Bow to Dr. Project Omega-7. Subject: problems. Unacceptable. Neutralizing Subject Abel at this point is going to cause us an unacceptable delay. We'll have another mission for you within a couple of weeks. All you have to do is keep him busy until then. Send him on vacation or something. From Dr. Project Omega-7 to all staff. Subject: alert. This is an automated alert. SCP-076-2 has disabled the explosive collar failsafe and gone out of control. All staff to high alert. Further request as events warrant. From Automated Defense System, Containment Area 25. 2. All sites. Subject: final option engaged. This is an automated message. Do not reply. As of, Containment Area 25 has engaged its on-site nuclear warhead on 10-minute countdown. From O5 Command. 2. All sites. Subject: Containment Area 25, final option. Response: as of, Containment Area 25 has been destroyed by detonations of its on-site nuclear warhead. Sites 67 and 68 are to activate the FEMA protocol and secure the location as soon as possible. Official cover story will be released by RAISA to all personnel once drafted. Revised psychological profile of Subject SCP-076-2. SCP-076-2 either possesses a mind constructed much differently than our own, or is completely insane, with little empathy or ideas in a way we could understand it. Concepts such as sex, love, and equality are completely foreign ideas to SCP-076-2, or at least comparison to its way of viewing them. Subject has shown that it is completely disinterested in sex, barely differentiating between genders except as a form of visual identification. Also, why Subject seems to greatly enjoy the act of killing, causing pain, either emotionally or physically, holds no attraction to it. Intelligence tests have been wildly inconclusive when applied to SCP-076-2, and no accurate result has yet been obtained. This is due to the fact that no communication is possible with the subject while it's in rage state. Subject displays knowledge of several languages, including English, but most notable is its knowledge of several dialects of ancient Sumerian, which seem to be its preferred language. SCP-076 is nothing but contempt for human beings, and will kill them on sight. No communication is to be attempted with the subject. Well, not something they teach you in Sunday school. But, seriously. With the information about Cain being at Site-17, and the layout of Containment Area 25 for Abel, we can cause the Foundation a lot of headaches. I'll forward this to one of our Chaos, Covert Hostile Assault and Operations Squadron teams, Tau 10, Troublemakers. They'll make fine use of it. Well, that's all for today. Until next time. Dismissed.